Welcome back to the DFS Sweatshop. I'm your host, your DFS Jerusalem, coming to you live from the list. You got 150 entries, and then you're a shark, and I don't fuck with you. So there's too much good shit on here. This is the often imitated, never duplicated. I'm here with my lovely co-host. Thank y'all. Stay safe. Enjoy. I may have been calling in to work. You're gonna be in the running for the snowflake of the year. Get your shit together with your snowflake. I'm at the crib, man, and I'm just finishing up. Stop. Throw them bitches in the main. I'm telling you. You're gonna see the results, bro. You're gonna see it. Just this is what's really gonna help you out. You know how I feel about the home dogs. There's a lot of fight in the home dogs, and I really think a lot of shit to go over tonight. Who that? Squirrel and pointer red player of the night.
Get them in your lineups. Get them in there. And let's go get this money.
Thursday, let's go, and remember, in the sweatshop, we always keep it 300.
Yo, what's happening? This is your boy, the DFS Jerusalem. You can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. And today, we're going to be chopping up a little bit of what happened last night. Also, we're going to be talking about what we can look forward to in terms of today's slate. We have a monster slate of games on deck, man. I believe we have 9 games here. And, of course, as you can see, I'm going to be rocking with you from RotoQL. That is my preferred DFS tool, the one I like to use the most. They don't pay me for saying that. It's all good. But that's how we're going to be rocking. So we're going to go with our regular formatting of the show, where we are going to talk about the featured 4 players of the night. Actually, did not release a core 4 today, as you know. As you know, Sunday is a day that I get to spend with the Lord and the family. So I did not spend a lot of time in the group today. Today was a day where I go to church, man, check up on a lot of my NFL lineups, and you know that's just the way that I do it on Sunday. So no big deal, no big shakes, but that's just the way that we get down. And we're gonna be jumping into the feature 4 players first, and then we're gonna do a quick recap of last night's action before we take a look forward to what we can expect for Monday shaking out. So we're gonna start. Remember, the feature 4 players. The first one we got is gonna be the Who Dat scoring on points over there player tonight. And this is gonna go to Jonathan Simmons, man. This dude went nuts, man. I'm talking 4K in salary, 45.5 DraftKings points. He played 32 minutes in this game, and the game looked like it was gonna be a blowout for a little bit, but then the bench surge from the Orlando Magic is what we saw. So really nice game from him. 32 minutes, 27 points, 4 boards, 3 assists. Knocked down 3 3-point shots. Also had 3 steals and a block. Pretty solid game there from him. The next guy I'm going to talk about is the how did I miss that play tonight? And this is going to be true for a lot of us, man. This dude was only 8% owned, and I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you why he was the how did I miss that play. I'm going to tell you why. Because he's been playing like shit, man. He's been playing horrible for the first few games of the season, and he comes out today against the Cleveland Cavaliers, who at this point we can pretty much just ascertain that you can just play any random point shooting guard against the Cavaliers here. I mean, that's just kind of what we're seeing. So Tim Hardaway Jr. goes out and plays 41 minutes, dropped 34 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, hit 5 3-point shots, 2 steals, and also only had 1 turnover. This is a very streaky shooter, man. This is a guy you can't expect from him a lot, but he's going to do stuff like this every once in a while. So shout out to you, Tim Hardaway Jr., THJ from my New York Knicks, who beat the Cleveland Cavaliers. What is going on with the Cavs, bro? What is going on with the Cavs, man? That is crazy. That is crazy. Next guy we're going to talk about is, of course, the Heat Check play tonight. And I got one thing to say about the Heat Check play tonight. The hoes must have been in the building. Because the homie, I tried to tell y'all, Kimba at home is a thing. The homie at the crib against the Orlando Magic goes out 36 minutes, 34 points, 6 boards, 10 assists. Yo, how many? I've been saying this about you for the last 2 years, Kimba. If you can score the ball. You can score the ball, bro. If you find a way to turn yourself into a double type cat, a double where you could just get a double, because he makes plays defensively. He's going to get a couple of steals, may get a block from behind. He's not going to turn the ball over an insane amount, but he can score. He is the one that the go-to guy on the team, the guy that the team trusts, especially without Nick Batum. Yo, Kemba Walker, the table is set for you, baby. You got a big man down here to grab some boards for you, and a guy that you can run the pick and roll with. This should be your year. This should definitely be your year. So Kemba Walker tonight, salute to you. 7.9K in salary. You did not disappoint. You went out and you are the heat check player of the night. Right down the street in Charlotte, the big homie from Bronx, New York. My big homie Kemba Walker, man. Shout out to you, man. Much love to you as you are the heat check player of the night. And now we must talk about that one motherfucker. That's right. And the one motherfucker, we already mentioned them somewhat already. But this dude, man, check this out, man. LeBron. What the fuck is going on? Yo, and the 43 points, to me, is not what classifies you as a motherfucking snowflake, because you were 3 assists shy of a triple-double. You're doing what you can do. You're trying, right? But tonight, you only brought us 43 points at 10.7x. And the problem with this is it was a short slate where I think you got a lot of guys that played LeBron. He was fairly highly owned, like 30% owned on the slate, and that's pretty high on a 5-game slate. That's pretty high for a guy like this. And you instantly helped me cash because I didn't have you at all. You're a motherfucking snowflake with your old snowflake ass, and I'm not gonna roster your bitch ass again until Ty Lue get up out of there and your point guard comes back. Once you get Isaiah Thomas back, somebody that can help you out, I may want to take a look at you. But man, bro, my Knicks beat y'all. That's enough. That's enough, because the Knicks are horrible. Horrible. And funny thing is, this was the 4th game out of the first 5 that the homie went out and scored 30+ real life points. I'm talking about Kristaps Porzingis, right? Porzingis had an awesome game in the spot. Well, I've only played Porzingis 1 time this year, and guess what? It was a time where he didn't do shit. Every other game that I didn't play him, he drops 30 real life points. So you are tonight the snowflake player of the night, LeBron James. You are horrible. Go suck an egg, and I'll never roster your bitch ass again. Let's move on with the rest of the motherfucking show. Let's go on. We're going to be talking about the games yesterday. We did have 7 games of NBA action to take care of. Something we want to talk about really quickly. We're going to talk about this first game on the slate, the Milwaukee Bucks and the Atlanta Hawks. Now, I believe this is one of the earlier games. It wasn't in the 5-game slate that we did see later on, but it still was a decent game, man. So let's go ahead and go over it, man. We're talking about the Atlanta Hawks at home, defending home court. They got the behind spanked. We saw a really, really solid game from Chris Middleton. In 37 minutes, he had 27 points, 7 boards, 9 assists. He was on triple-double watch, actually. Also had a couple of steals while shooting 47% from the field. He did hit 3 of 5 3-point shots. Giannis, nice double-double, but just didn't do enough to justify that salary. 38 minutes, he led the team. He had 33 points, 11 boards, and 5 assists while shooting 66% from the field. That's insane how this dude has been shooting, man. This dude has been shooting an insane amount, an insane clip percentage since the start of the season. It can't keep doing that. Pretty decent game we saw from Malcolm Brogdon in 30 minutes. He had 16 and 1 rebounding with 4 assists and 2 steals. John Henson off of the bench, 12 and 9. Also had 3 assists, 2 steals, and 3 blocks. Big game for him at that cheap salary on the Atlanta Hawks side. We saw a pretty solid game from Dennis Schroeder, and it seems like he's pretty much back. He's good. He led a team in minutes, had 35 of them, 21 points, 2 rebounds, 8 assists, and 3 steals. Taurean Prince had 17 points and 5 boards at his 37 minutes. Also chipped in 3 assists and 2 steals while only shooting 35% from the field. Come on, man. You got to do better. The homie Kent Bazemore, he is not dead. He's still alive. 32 minutes for him. He had 15 and 2 to go with 6 assists and 2 steals while shooting a paltry 22% from the field. That is horrible, bro. The dude went 2 for 9 shooting and only hit 1 of 4 3-point shots. That's bad for Kent Bazemore. Stop shooting so much, man. John Collins, still pretty decent off of the bench. The price should be going down on him some with those bodies coming back and him not seeing like a ton of actual minutes. He did play 24 minutes in this game, but he only had 14 points, 7 rebounds, and also had a block shot. And some of that came in a scrub love garbage time. So next game we got the San Antonio Spurs going to Indiana to take on the Pacers here. This is a very close game, man. Spurs got beat by 3. The Pacers actually handled business here. Aldridge, man, still playing well. In 36 minutes, he had 26 points, 8 boards, also blocked the shot while shooting 47% from the field. Paul Gasol has picked up his play over the last couple of games, and he did play 30 minutes, had 17 and 7, to go with 5 assists and 5 block shots. Yes, while shooting 70% from the field. That was very solid from the homie Paul Gasol. Danny Green in 20 minutes. Excuse me, 28 minutes, had 10 and 40 with 1 assist and 4 steals. Also had a block shot. DeJounte Murray really let me down. As soon as I got high on this dude, man, he's been not playing very well. I'm talking in 20 minutes, he had 4 points, 6 boards, 1 assist, 2 for 4 shooting. Didn't shoot much at all. And Patty Mills off of the bench had 10 points and 2 assists while also getting a steal. So on the Indiana side, Bojan Bogdanovic, man, 15 and 8 to go with 2 assists and 1 steal in 33 minutes. That was pretty solid. Sabonis, man, the Sabonis kid, DeMontis is playing pretty well. In 32 minutes, he had 22 and 12 to go with 2 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. And it's going to be interesting when Miles Turner comes back. Is Sabonis showing you that he is a guy that you can play? And get him can he be like the 6th man to get solid minutes, like the first guy whenever a front court guy comes out? Can he be the first guy that goes in, or can we move Thad Young maybe to a bench role, or even to play the 3 where you get a Sabonis, or get Sabonis to play the 3? And can we do that? Because you got Vic Oladipo here in 29 minutes, had 23 and 4 to go with 5 assists while shooting 50% from the field. And like I said, man, it's going to be very interesting to see how that works when Miles Turner comes back. Because Sabonis clearly needs minutes, bro. He's clearly a talented player who just needs minutes and opportunity. So the next game we got is going to be the Brooklyn Nets at the crib, playing host to the Denver Nuggets. The Nuggets won this game 124 to 111, as you can see here. Wilson Chandler, man, woke up from the dead. In 33 minutes, he had 18 and 5 with 1 assist, 2 steals, and 1 block. He shot 63% from the field, hit 2 of 3 3-point shots. Very nice there. Paul Millsap in 36 minutes had 13 and 11 to go with 5 assists. Also had 3 block shots while shooting 35% from the field. Could have been a much bigger game for Paul Millsap. Nikola Jokic, pretty decent in 29 minutes. He had 21 and 14 to go with 4 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block while shooting 56% from the field. Jamal Murray awoke from his slumber and chipped in 26, a team high, with 1 rebound, 5 assists, 1 steal, and also had a block shot. Pretty solid game from him. Emmanuel Mudiay off of the bench in 19 minutes. Had a really solid one, man. 15 and 3 to go with 5 assists. Pretty solid game there from the homie Emmanuel Mudiay. On the Brooklyn Nets side, I jumped right back on D'Angelo Russell, and I really shouldn't have, man. He played 24 minutes. He only had 12 points and 3 rebounds. He did have 8 assists, but it just wasn't a great shooting game for him. 3 of 12 for 25%. Did not hit a 3-point shot, although he took 3 of them. Spencer Dinwiddie was actually the play for much cheaper. He played 29 minutes, had 22 points, 4 boards, 4 assists, also had 3 steals while shooting 50% from the field. Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, 18 and 6 to go with an assist and a block. And off of the bench, Joe Harris, man, in 22 minutes had 16 and 1 to go with 1 assist. Not a horrible game for him at that price point. The next game we got is going to be the Charlotte Hornets at the crib playing host to the Orlando Magic. You already know what happened, man. Let's take a look on the Orlando side, though, because Evan Fournier has been tearing it up recently, man. And the price still stays the same on him. 37 minutes, he had 23 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, also had a steal. Aaron Gordon did a little bit of everything. 17 points, 9 boards, 4 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks while shooting 43% from the field. Nikola Vucevic, a double-double, finally. 15 and 11 to go with 3 assists and 1 steal. And we also saw Terrence Ross wake up in 33 minutes, had 17 points, 5 boards, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block. The homie Jonathan Simmons, we talked about him off of the bench. He played 32 minutes and went ham, bro. We talked about him already. He led the team in scoring with 27 points, had 4 boards, 3 assists, and 3 steals. Also blocked the shot. And he hit 3 of 4 3-point shots. Pretty solid game there from the homie. On the Charlotte Hornets side, Kemba led all the scorers in this game. 34, 10 assists, 6 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 block. He shot 60% from the field, hit 2 of 7 3-point shots. Awesome game from Kemba Walker. Didn't even see much off of the Charlotte Hornets bench, but Dwight Howard did double-double, 22 and 10 to go with 3 assists. I wonder how many times. I think he's had a double-double every game this season. I really do. He's got to be leading the league in rebounding right now. Marvin Williams, in his 30 minutes, balled out too. 13 and 11 to go with 3 assists and 2 blocks while shooting 75% from the field. And Jeremy Lamb, 20 and 6 to go with 7 assists, 2 steals, and also shooting 60% from the field. Pretty solid game there, right? Next game we got is going to be the Washington Wizards going to Sacramento, making easy work of the Kings here. And, John Wall was a guy that I was considering, but I watched the game, man. And, he didn't have to put the pedal to the metal. He just didn't have to. You look at Otto Porter Jr. in 27 minutes, had 16 and 5 with 1 assist, 2 steals, and a block. John Wall only played 26 minutes. He had 19 and 9 assists to go with 2 rebounds, 1 steal, and 1 block. We saw Mike Scott for 15 minutes at 13 and 4. Gortat, bad game, only played 18 minutes. Got some early foul trouble in the spot. Uri Jr. 9 and 7 to go with 1 assist. Everybody did a little something, and he just beat the shit out of the Sacramento Kings. De'Aaron Fox, bro, he was like 45% owned in some of the tournaments that I was in, and I really didn't understand it. Why they would, give a rookie guy like that much run against a pretty sound perimeter defense. So I really didn't understand that. Didn't have much of them. Scala BCR in 22 minutes had 10 and 4 with 1 steal and 1 block. The aforementioned De'Aaron Fox played 26 minutes. Dude only had 2 points, 4 rebounds, and 5 assists. Off of the bench, Costa Cooper 7 and 10 to go with. I'm shooting 50% from the field. There's not a lot to love in terms of this game, man. Bogdanovic actually led the team in scoring with only 15 points. He also had three rebounds, 1 assist, and 4 steals. Pretty solid game from him. Next game we got my New York Knicks going to Cleveland, bro. At Quicken Loans Arena. And going in there and wrecking shop, man. Tim Hardaway Jr., we talked about him already in 41 minutes, 34 points, 4 rebounds, 8 assists, 2 steals while shooting 57% from the field. Hit 5 of 10 3-point shots, so he was chucking. Kristaps Porzingis, 32 and 12 with 1 steal and 2 blocks. And the homie Enes Kanter, man, 32 minutes, he had 18 and 12. Yeah, there was a couple of double-doubles, bro. Everybody had a ton of rebounds. Courtney Lee, 15 and 10 boards to go with 3 assists and 2 steals. Pretty solid game there from him on the Cleveland side. So that kind of tells you Cleveland is having a lot of trouble rebounding the basketball, bro. Anybody who's prone to rebounding against the Cleveland Cavaliers, man, that may be something you could take a look at, bro. That may be something you could take a look at. LeBron James in 39 minutes, 16 and 10 to go with 7 assists and 2 steals. Kevin Love, 22 and 11 to go with an assist and a steal. We also saw Derrick Rose in his return back. He played 31 minutes, had 15 and 3 to go with 3 assists while shooting 42% from the field. And Kyle Korver off the bench, 13 and 4 to go with 1 assist. Not a great game there from any of them. It was with the exception of Kevin Love. The last game on the night was the Detroit Pistons and the Golden State Warriors. And believe it or not, the Pistons beat the Warriors, bro. That was crazy. That was crazy. Stanley Johnson played 40 minutes, leading the team. Had 15 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. Pretty solid game there. Andre Drummond only scored 8 points, but look what he did, though. He had 18 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals. That killed it for Andre Drummond, man. Avery Bradley in 35 minutes had 23 points, 1 steal. One rebound, 2 assists. Also had 3 steals. Pretty solid game there. Reggie Jackson, 22 and 3 rebounds with 5 assists. And Ish Smith in his 18 minutes off the bench had 16 points to go with 2 assists. Pretty solid game there for the Golden State Warriors. Yo, this was not a great game, man. Draymond Green had 2 points, 13 boards, and 4 assists while also blocking 1 shot and shooting 25% from the field. Klay Thompson had a really great first quarter, but he kind of tailed off. 29 points, 2 rebounds, also had 2 steals while shooting 12 of 19 from the field. Steph Curry, 27 and 6 to go with 8 assists, also did have a steal while shooting 64% from the field. We didn't see a great game from a lot of the cats off of the bench at all, man. And I was surprised that the Golden State Warriors at the crib, man, at the Oracle, gave up this game. And that was nutty. That was nutty. So let's go ahead and look forward to today's 9-game NBA slate. What we're doing now is we're gonna go ahead and build our initial player pool. We're gonna look through, see what the pricing is, see how everybody looks, put them all in a big bag, and then I'm gonna take that bag as I listen around to see what everybody else is gonna be talking about. Kind of gauge the temperature in the DFS room, and then I'm gonna go back to my group, man. I'm gonna take that bag and that information that I have and my own knowledge. I'm gonna take that to the homies in the Sweatshop, and in there we're gonna chop this slate all the way up at 5:30, and we're gonna generate some really good lineups that we can go out and win some tournaments with. So if you want to get some of the money, like I've been showing you here, like I've been showing, if you want to get some of this, if this is what you want, some of this NBA money. If this is where your head is at, right? Then I think you might need to come and check us out. You might need to come and check us out. You go to the website, it's www.dfsweatshop.com, and that is where I will allow you into the very best group online, and we can get it in. All right. So let's go ahead, take a look at this Roto QL slate. First game we got is going to be the San Antonio Spurs and the Boston Celtics. Now this is a 194.5 total. Now the first thing I always like to tell you, whenever you have these low point totals like this, that doesn't mean that you can't play guys from this game. What that really means is you can kind of condense your ownership. It means you can shoot straight to the target, to the better targets in this game. You already know that the Boston Celtics struggle mightily rebounding the basketball. You already know that LaMarcus Aldridge is a guy who's playing some MVP style basketball this early in the season. And you're looking at a team without Kawhi Leonard and how good LaMarcus Aldridge has been and how good he can be rebounding the basketball. Yo, he's a guy to me that is kind of looking like an early core member, man. He like an early core candidate is going to be LaMarcus Aldridge, and that same thing is true for Rudy Gay. Like if I don't actually, I like a lot of this whole front line from Powell to Rudy to LaMarcus Aldridge. I think the Celtics at home play at just a high enough a pace to where there can be a lot of rebounds. I kind of like this. I like a couple of guys here. For me, I'm not saying I can stack San Antonio, but what I am saying is I can roster any three of these guys and feel comfortable. If I start a team with LaMarcus Aldridge, I'm gonna be cool with that. If I don't start a team with LaMarcus Aldridge and I have other guys, but I get to a certain point in my roster build where I got a small forward / power forward spot and I've got 5.5 left, I will have no issue slamming Rudy Gay in there or putting Paul Gasol in there, or if I've got Rudy Gay locked in, but I need 200 more to grab this other guy that I need, I have no issue going down to Paul Gasol and getting it in here. So I kind of like this. Spurs pace is a lot slower than average, and they have elite defense. That's why I like some of these San Antonio frontline guys here, especially knowing how much Boston can struggle rebounding the basketball. So Kyrie Irving at 8K, he's a guy that is in play for me here, just because he's going to be going up against DeJounte Murray, who's a very young, he's not as skilled and savvy defender yet as Kyrie Irving is an offensive player. So I think that's a guy that's going to be in play for me. Don't love Marcus Smart or Horford. I'm not going to get too jiggy with it, man. I'm going to hit the main targets in this game because of the low total, and I'm going to keep it moving, man. Next game we got is going to be the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Miami Heat. Goran Dragic jumps off of the page for me here, priced at 6.5, bro. That is so cheap. That is so cheap. Priced at 6.5, that is usable and cheap. I like that. You got James Johnson here, who does seem to be a fairly decent play for me in the spot. I wouldn't have an issue there with him. And Josh Richardson at 5.1 doesn't really interest me the way he did before all of the other cats came back. So Tyler Johnson at 4.6, maybe somebody that I need in case of salary relief. Justice Winslow as well. Depending on the minutes that he can see, I kind of like him at 4K. On the other side, I really hate playing point guards against Goran Dragic in Miami. Like, I hate doing that. And for that reason, I can't get to Teague in this spot. I can't get to Teague. Jimmy Butler, on the other hand, does kind of interest me. And actually, Jimmy Butler is kind of going to hurt the wing players for me, for the Miami guys. Maybe that's why I don't like Josh Richardson. I don't like Dion Waiters much, because they're going to see some Jimmy Butler defense. So, yeah, I can dig that. And then you got Karl Anthony Towns at 9K. He's playable, but I don't think I can get to him in so many spots, so I won't really have too much interest there. Next game we got, and of course this is a 216-point total. So this means that not only can you take a look at the you look at Towns in the spot with no Whiteside, no like real post presence. I mean, if Kelly Olynyk is going to be guarding him, then yeah, Towns, that does put Towns a lot in play, especially coming off of that monster game that he had. The momentum should be rolling well with him. Yeah, he just put up 66 against Oklahoma City. So I think we can get to him. I think we can get to him. Yeah, we can get to Towns. We can get to Towns. As far as looking at some of the bench guys, maybe some Jamal Crawford here at 3.8. He has been holding down that second team. Aside from that, not much else I like. Next game we got is going to be the Denver Nuggets going to New York to take on my New York Knicks. 209.5 point total. You've got Porzingis against Jokic. That's going to be a pretty decent matchup, man. Those are very similar players. I would say, of course, Jokic is going to be more of a facilitator than Kristaps. And Kristaps is really going to have to score the ball in order to make value. Like, if Kristaps ain't putting up 25, 30 points, then it's going to be hard to make value to 8.5 or 8.4, while Nikola Jokic can do other things, passing the ball, getting rebounds, banging, doing things like that. Defensive stats, stuff like that, to make value. So if I had to pick one of these guys, but the problem is, this is the problem. The problem is the usage in terms of Kristaps Porzingis is just so high it is hard to ignore. But I'm gonna make a stand, and Nikola Jokic here at 8.9. I would play him above Kristaps Porzingis. Paul Millsap at 7K. doesn't really appeal to me much. I do like Wilson Chandler at 4.8. I think that he's one of the more streaky players in the league. Yo, anytime I play Wilson Chandler, or anytime Wilson Chandler had a good game, I played him the next game and he had another one. Wilson Chandler is so streaky, bro. He is a streaky ass dude, and I know him well because he used to play for my New York Knicks, and so this is kind of like a revenge. I would say it's a revenge game, but he liked playing in New York. He was on his way to becoming a better player, and they kind of gave up on him and got rid of him in the him and Danilo Gallinari and all of them cats. So I kind of like Wilson Chandler. I kind of like Wilson Chandler. I think I can play him. I do. Wilson Chandler going back to New York. It's sort of a thing for me. I like that. Then we've got Jamal Murray here at 5K. Definitely a guy that's in play. If Frank gets to start at 3.7, please start Frank Nitty at 3.7, because if you start, if they start Frank Nitty at 3.7, I am going to play him. I am. This could be a good young player, man. Last night against Brooklyn, he played 23 minutes and had 20 fantasy points. If he gets a start at 3.7, bro, I'm gonna play him. I kind of like him in the spot. I do. Cantor at 6K. Not a guy that I particularly love. I think Hardaway Jr., as long as he's priced under 5K, is gonna be in play. I don't love a lot of the Knicks. Yeah, I don't love a lot of the Knicks. Mason Plumlee at 4K is actually kind of appealing because he's been getting a lot of the minutes off of the bench. I like that. Next game we got is going to be the Philadelphia. Oh, they're playing the Rockets again? Okay, the Philadelphia 76ers and the Houston Rockets. We got James Harden at 11.2. Joel Embiid at 8.1. Ben Simmons, I was so scared. Last week I was like, you got to play Ben Simmons. Oh, my God. It just, no matter what the price. Because I played him at like 7 point something, and he scored like 50-something points. And he was in my core of plays, and I loved him. And, he was at 7.7, and he scored like 55 points. And I was like, yes, you gotta play him. He's a play. I'll play him at any price. And he went up to 8.8, and I played him, and he got me 42. And I was like, damn, that's okay. But then he went to 9.1, and I didn't play him, and he still almost hit value at 51 points. So I think that's just so much to pay for Simmons. And for me to pay up for Simmons like that, I would have to like totally not like Embiid, but I kind of like Embiid in this matchup against the Rockets. So because Embiid and I think Clint Capella have got some little shit going on here where they've been talking trash about each other or something. Yeah, McConnell's still cheap. I'm not gonna continue to avoid him. I think let me check on Twitter. I think that like there was something going on. Maybe it was Embiid drumming. I don't think it was. No, it was Embiid drumming. It wasn't Capella. It was Embiid and drumming. I'm sorry about that. Yeah, it was Embiid and drumming. It was Embiid and drumming. It wasn't Capella. It was Embiid and drumming. Yeah. So McConnell, Covington, I kind of like him. He's gonna see some really high defensive usage in this spot going against Trevor Ariza. And you can play small forwards against your small forward and shooting guard, wing guys. You can definitely play against Houston. So TJ McConnell's in play for me. Robert Covington is in play for me. I don't want to play Ben Simmons, but I think you gotta consider him at 9.2. I'm still gonna be doing that. Harden is always in play at 11.2, especially with no CP3. Clint Capella at 6.7 is a guy that I'm gonna have some interest in. My one issue, the one issue that I do have with Clint Capella is the same one that I had against Embiid. When he was against Dwight Howard against Charlotte. Against Embiid is a very active low post player, and a guy that the only way to truly stop him is to foul him. That's right. Embiid and Capella, they're like best friends, and they be talking shit back and forth to each other. They had like some Twitter shit that they was talking to each other. That's right. So there is something there, and so I'm sure both of these guys are gonna want to play well. And that's the issue that I do have with playing Capella at 6.7. The same one I had against when he was against Dwight Howard is that dude is so active. Joel Embiid is so active in the low post that the only way to stop him is to foul him, man. And he goes at you. So that's if I roster Capella, I'm gonna do the same way I did that night. Sparingly, right? So PJ Tucker at 4.1. As long as he's cheap, I think that he does deserve consideration. Ryan Anderson been playing a lot better lately at 5.1. Is a little bit too much for me. Mbamute at 3.8, bro. Could see a lot of time here. I kind of like him. He's fairly cheap and he's pretty decent, right? That was Noel. No. He was beefing. Embiid was beefing with Drummond. He said something about Drummond. So when they play against each other, we got to be up on that. But he did have a little something going on with Clint Capella, but they're friends. Next game we got is going to be the Charlotte Hornets and the Memphis Grizzlies. Kemba going to the grindhouse. That means I absolutely positively ain't playing Kemba Walker. I can't do it. But I do think that Dwight Howard is in play at 7.6. I like him as a matter of fact here. Think he can get all the rebounds against Marc Gasol, who I still like. Marc Gasol is a savvy player. He's going to be able to play pretty well in the low post. I won't play him in the spot. If I had to play anybody from this game, it'd be a guy like Mike Conley, who everybody is down on. Nobody wants to play Mike Conley right now. Everybody is so upset with how bad Mike Conley has been a couple of games during the season. But look at it, man. 30, 35, 26, 23. How many times have you seen the Mike Conley tilt on Twitter? Like the first half of every game he's played so far this year, you saw like the Mike Conley tilt. But the dude has like insane upside. Look at this. Remember this game last year against San Antonio when he dropped 60? Like this dude has like insane upside. 59 against Indiana. Like I like Conley. I do. I like everybody tilts really hard of Conley, but I can tell you Kemba is not known for his defense, and I really think that they're both going to be on the floor a lot, guarding each other and leading the team. So I kind of like Mike Conley here. Tyreke Evans at 4.9 is a play that I am kind of interested in. Marvin Williams at 3.9. I do have interest there in him. We know that MKG is still on somewhat of a minutes limit sometimes, especially with Frank Kaminsky out. That's going to give more minutes to Marvin Williams in that front court, so I am going to have some exposure there. No way I play Howard tomorrow. Conley been playing trash versus Houston. How can you play trash versus Rockets? They play no defense. But the funny thing is, look how the game ended up. Because I remember this game. I remember that game you're talking about. Okay, that was against Houston, where like the first half he had like 11 points, and it was bad. And in the third quarter he didn't have nothing. Then the last quarter of the game he scored like 14 or 15 points and kind of saved it. He didn't, you know what I mean? It still didn't hit value, but it was like, oh my God, thank you. It's not a complete zero. I hate Conley, but Kemba defense is laughable, definitely. Gordon can't play D. What you smoking? No, of course, no, of course. Of course Gordon can't play defense. Of course, yeah, no. So, Memphis pace is so slow. Pace not good for guards. I hate Conley, but Kemba defense is, yeah, man. Yo, I like Conley here. I do. I like him. Next game we got is gonna be Orlando Magic going to New Orleans to take on the Pelicans. Everybody like shifts and turns with the outcomes of games. Like hindsight is so 2020 in this shit. Okay, but this is a 227-point total. And the first thing everybody's gonna say is, oh my God, oh, whenever DeMarcus Cousins and Anthony Davis are on the slate, you have to just lock both of them in. And that is going to piss you off way more than it helps you, bro. You're going to be livid way more than you're counting money if you just lock them cats in every day. You can't do that, bro. You pretty much can't do that with anybody. You know what I'm saying? Let alone the most injured guy in the history of American professional sports, a.k.a. the Brow, Anthony Davis. Awesome matchup for him. He's priced at $11K. He's cheaper than DeMarcus Cousins. All signs point to you playing Anthony Davis here in a very good matchup against a team that if they're gonna do well, most of their scoring and game plan is gonna come from the low post, the very place where Anthony Davis makes his money. But guess what? Anthony Davis, if he loses another knee fight, bro, you're gonna be upset. You're gonna be upset. If he loses a knee fight, you're gonna be mad as fuck. So for me, I just don't play Anthony Davis too much. Every once in a while, I gotta really be feeling it. To play him. And I love to play DeMarcus Cousins when Anthony Davis is not playing. Sans the 83-point game from the other night. I had none of them when they both went off last night, and that's gonna happen. But I just, I mean, of course they didn't play, yeah, because they have 70-point upside. Of course they didn't play. I played Anthony Davis a year before last when he had 90 fucking points. So of course these guys are in play, But I'm not saying lock and load every time that they're on the docket, because that's just irresponsible of me to say that. So the big three here, Davis, Cousins, and Holiday, those three guys are going to be in play. We know that those are the very spots the Orlando Magic can struggle. We look on the other side. Aaron Gordon's been playing some really good ball. 7.5K is a little bit pricey, but if I had to play somebody from here, he's a guy that I would take a look at. Also, Evan Fournier at 7K. Look at Terrence Ross, one of the cheaper guys in this situation at 4K. I do like him. I think that's a pretty solid way to go. Orlando is one of the worst teams against the point guard position. That is true. That is true. That is true. That is true. And I like Holiday. I think Holiday is a good value here at 7.1. But I just don't want y'all to get too caught up on what happened with the recency of the last game and then say, oh my god, I gotta lock both of them in everywhere. Like, you don't have to do that. Not on a 10-game slate or 9-game slate. Next game we got is gonna be the Dallas Mavericks and the Utah Jazz. This is the lowest point total on the slate. We got the Mavericks slated to score 92 points with the Utah Jazz defending home court 99.8. 192 is going to be the total here. Rudy Gobert has let me down so many times. I feel like I have to play him because I do not want to miss the 50-point game. Like, look at this trash against the Lakers, one of the worst teams in the league, in the low post, defending the low post. 21.5 points against Phoenix, 44. Cool. Against the Clippers, 29. OKC, 38. Okay, cool. He's got to perform well in this matchup against the Mavericks. He's got to, bro. He's got to. I'm gonna play him. He's got to. Maybe I've been he's been a super uber snowflake so far this year, and I've got to give him a shot here at the crib, defending home court against the Dallas Mavericks. So we got Ricky Rubio at 7.3, who I do like. Derek Favors at 5.1. I can get a piece there. Rodney Hood kind of interests me in this spot. Wesley Matthews, not a very good defensive player, but you just never know what you're going to get with Rodney Hood. He's so streaky. I would rather hang my hat on Joe Ingles at 5.2 and be done with it. Also, Donovan Mitchell off of the bench at 3.9K does interest me some in this spot. So on the other side, Dennis Smith Jr., yeah, I can play him. I can play him. I can play that. He's cheap. I can play him. Harrison Barnes has been playing pretty well. I can go there. I wouldn't fuck with anybody else. Anybody else on the Dallas side. This is not enough here. Next game we got is the Toronto Raptors and the Portland Trailblazers. Yo, big game Dame, man. Going against DeMar DeRozan. Yo, this is like the two best like backcourt, like complete backcourts. Well, with the exception when you look at Toronto backcourt of DeRozan, Lowry, CJ, Dame. You might throw in Wall and Beal, and then Clay and Steph, best backcourts in the league. This is gonna be a really entertaining game, man. It's gonna be a really entertaining game, and from what I'm seeing, I think this is the spot where you could play Dame. I mean, so you could play DeMar and Kyle Lowry here, and be good to go, because I don't see the other people on the team, contributing as much as I see the Portland supporting cast contributing. You see what I'm saying? Like, I can see the Portland supporting cast contributing a lot if Dame or CJ were to falter. But the Toronto, I mean, who is gonna do that? You know what I mean? So you can give me if I had to choose a backcourt, and I generally like playing both of these guys at the same time. So DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, both guys that I'm going to be taking a look at. I think that Dame, of course, is playable because of the type of point guard that he is, although this can be a very stingy team on the perimeter. Very, very stingy team. Now, you look at Valanciunas. Yeah, if he's coming back, that's also something else to take a look at. Let's go and look at him because he should have played on the 26th and he got ruled out at the last minute. Let's see if we got any new news on him here. This is from the 28th, from Friday. Valanciunas was considered a game-time decision for the contest, and the team has ultimately opted to err on the side of caution. The big man returned to practice Thursday after missing 2 games, but his return would have to wait. His next opportunity to suit up will be Monday against the Trailblazers. So let's be vigilant throughout the day. Take a look and check it around, making sure that we can get some solid news here. But if he's out, you're looking at Siakam, you're looking at Jakob Poeltl, maybe some Serge Ibaka if he's out. I think that, Nurkic on the other side is a guy you might want to take a look at. But Alfred Camino has been playing lights out over the last couple of games. He's somebody who I am going to have some interest in, as well as Mo Harkless at 4.2. So, Tim Hardaway, garbage though, life ass, finally went off, and I didn't pick up. Damn. He went hard on him. Last game on the slate, of course, is the Golden State Warriors, giving up 4.5 points to the Los Angeles Clippers. 221 point total. KD, love him in this spot at 9.8. I think Steph Curry could certainly see Patrick Beverly versus Steph Curry. I think Steph wins that every time. I do. I wouldn't mind Steph in this spot at all. I think people might see the Patrick Beverly defense and not want to play Steph, especially since he's 9.1. But I kind of like him. Klay Thompson at 6.8 is a guy that I can take a look at here. On the other side, Blake Griffin is going to be super playable. No DeAndre Jordan for me at 7.3 in this spot. They're going to go small and take DeAndre off of the court. And you're probably going to see Blake play a lot of the 5, bro. You're going to see Blake play a lot of the 5. They're going to need some shooters, so that's like Lou Williams. He's in play. The coach's son at 4.9 is a guy that you might want to take a look at. Don't love Pat Bev, but I see him being on the court a lot just for the sake of keeping up with Steph Curry. And he could fall into some rebounds, maybe a couple of points here and there. So he's a guy at 5.9 that I really think that we consider. But my favorite play from this game altogether is going to be Kevin Durant. So we've rolled through the slate. You've got my first look, pure, unadulterated, uncut look at the first look at this slate. We've got everybody in a bag. Our player pool is set. Like I said, we're going to go into the VIP at about 5:30 Standard Eastern Time, where we will be breaking shit all the way down. Drummond killed them today. I like Jordan. That's coming from Andy. I can dig it. So we're gonna be breaking all of that down. If you want to be a part of that, man, go to the website www.dfssweatshop.com. For me, the DFS Jerusalem, the entire family of the DFS Sweatshop, all the homies in the VIP. Thank you all so much. Love and peace to you. And remember, if you're on DraftKings, keep it 300. If you're on FanDuel, keep it 400. You're rocking with the best. We keep it real. We keep it honest. And we always keep it 300. Peace.